I'm Hokey Joker.
Bedroom.
Green Lantern.
And welcome to Just Us Bros Podcast. All right, bros, welcome back to Just Us Bros Podcast. As always, I'm Hokey Joker.
I'm Bedroom.
HK.
Flashman.
And we all have our favorite bald-headed behemoth of the silver screen, whether he's taking down a huge megalodon, teaming up with The Rock, or maybe even having to commit crimes because if his heart stops, he will die. Of course, we are talking about Jason Statham, the beekeeper himself. This is a tribute to him. So I will say that. I hyped him up. I can't say that I'm hyped when I see him in theaters, but I enjoy some of the stuff he's in.
Well, okay. So what did you most enjoy him in then? We'll start it off with you.
I had to go back and look up his movies, and I haven't seen a lot of them. So by default, it's the most recent one, The Beekeeper.
Okay, well, if that's your favorite, then you have some. I'm almost jealous of you because you get to see some of his better works for the first time.
Yeah, to be able to see the first transporter for the first time ever again, I think that would be special. Especially now, it actually I think it still holds up. But
I think it does. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, I think you're right.
The first one definitely. The second two, they were popcorn flicks and just way out of the park. But I'm speaking of transporter. I think that was the first movie that was introduced to him in. Wait, I think Matchstick Men came out before Transporter, didn't it? But I never actually saw that one, so that's actually one that I need to watch because I think that's another good one too. But Flashman, what was your first interaction with Jason Statham?
So y'all remember the movie Ghost of Mars?
Holy shit! Yeah, he had hair in that movie.
Sergeant Butler. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Not saying it was good, not saying it was bad, but that's when I think of Statham and the first time I ever seen him, that's what I think of.
Actually, the first time I remember seeing him on, I think one of my friends was watching The Italian Job, and there's a scene where he's like, "I'm out. I'm not doing the whatever he's doing," and then he gets stuck at a left turn light, and the light turns green, and the guy in front of him's like practicing lines for a play, and then the light turns red, and I'm like, I identify with that man so hard right now because he's so pissed.
Yep.
I was gonna say the Transporter. I think was Transporter 1. I think was the first movie I saw him in, and that's what made me a fan of his. But favorite movie, it might have to be. I think either I have his filmography up on my other screen. I think it's either like probably Crank or Snatch.
Oh yeah, Snatch. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Apparently his first movie was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and then Snatch came after that. Him and Guy Ritchie are just a good formula.
Two peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that also your favorite of him? Is the Transporter? Or Snatch, rather?
Yeah, well, I'd say it's either between like Snatch and Crank. I haven't seen Snatch in a while. I know I love Crank, and that has so much like replay value for me. Like I could just watch that, every day. It's just so wild.
So me being the dork that I am with all the dinosaurs and stuff, can you guess which one is my favorite of the Statham movies?
The Meg 2, the Meganing.
Both.
Oh God,
I love both of the movies. They're cheesy. They remind me of the sci-fi Sharknado crap. It's just a fun watch. You don't watch it for the accuracy. Let's just say it that way.
Well,
Yeah.
for the first movie, talking about the Meg,
Mm-hmm.
man, the first movie, like the way it began, and all the way up until the part where the Meg actually started attacking the beach, I thought it was a superb movie. I was like, holy shit, I'm enjoying the hell out of this, and I was actually wondering how they're going to stop this, how they're going to fix this, how they're going to save the people from the Meg, and then the second one happened. Like literally, there was a bigger one. I was like, oh, crap. This movie was kind of like the Wolverine. This movie was so good for like the first two acts, and the final act, I was just kind of like, did they just throw this in here for something? But I mean, I did enjoy those. I did.
So just
But
so you're
yeah, go ahead.
tracking, it is a book series.
Really?
A lot of people don't know that. It is a book series. Yeah.
So Jason Statham is playing a character in the book series?
Yep. He's
Wow.
Jonas Taylor in the book series. So if they continue making the movies, it's gonna continue around Jonas.
Are they going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger?
I don't know. There's like a robot one at some point, kind of like Godzilla.
What? That's awesome.
Going to be like a large space meg out there.
Oh my god!
Hey,
You mean
if the
like
Fast and Furious can get a car in
Oh.
space, we can have a space shark. All right.
So is it like a mechalodon? Oh, that hurt to say.
Mechalodon. I like it.
Or
Mechalodon.
Mecha Meg?
Mechadon.
Meg.
Mecha Meg?
Oh,
Like
these-
Mecha
these are-
Godzilla, but Mecha Meg.
these are hurting my brain, but they're worth it. They're worth it. Oh god. But yeah, okay. Those are some of our favorite Statham appearances. Mr. Beekeeper, do you? Well, I guess you have a very limited collection, but did you see anything that he was in that you hated? Maybe a movie that he did with
Well,
The Rock.
Anybody like always plays the stoic guy who's gonna like shoot you up. So I think he plays a lot of the same character, just different storyline. If you set me down and like showed me like 12 different scenes from 12 different movies he was in, I'd be like, this is all the same movie.
His hairline is different in each movie. That's how you know which movie it is. Okay.
Yeah. Fast Saga. Anything with him in cars is a bad idea.
Except for Transporter.
I didn't like that
Yes.
movie either. That said, I'm the anarchist for that as well.
I'm gonna say actually, looking through his list at the movies I've seen so far, and I think Killer Elite. That's like one where I was kind of disappointed, even though it had like De Niro and Clive Owen in it.
I vaguely
Um,
remember that one. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, the beekeeper is correct because he does play like the same character in all these movies. So he's kind of like the Mark Wahlberg type nowadays. Except I like him way more than Mark Wahlberg.
All right, I guess for me, a movie you guys would recognize because we've already mentioned it. I think would be one of his. I did enjoy it, but I think it's not one of his strongest movies. Oh, excuse me, one of his strongest movies. The Meg 2, the Meganing, but also there was another movie a little way back when called War, where he was in. I
Yeah.
did not. I wasn't feeling that movie. Yeah,
It was him and Jet Li, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I
And
was
that's not
disappointed
the-
with that one too.
That's
Yeah.
not the only Jet Li movie, or he did with Jet Li, which we'll talk about in a minute, and that will be my guilty pleasure movie.
So what was that? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
We're not talking Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Okay.
No, the movie's called War. Huh. Yeah.
I knew you were.
I kind of wish that there was a buddy cop series with Statham and Jet Li now in an alternate universe.
See, we'll get to it, but I had another idea for that one as well.
Flashman, with your idea, what would you say is a different type of movie since he's typecast in so many things, or what type of movie would you want to see him in? Or is there
So I would say like a saga. Like
yeah.
we're talking like live action Skyrim or something Elder Scrolls.
Ooh.
A complete different type of movie for him.
He'd
I
be
think
great.
he's got the acting chops and he's definitely got the physicality of it. Does he have the make believe side of it? I don't know, but it'd be intriguing. I think he could definitely add some depth to it. I would hope. If he can
'cause
play with a
I-
giant shark, he could definitely play with a dragon.
Yeah, I would like to see him in like some type of like Middle Earth type movie, or a movie where he's like LARPing, but not really LARPing. He's actually doing the things.
Or him
But,
actually LARPing would be funny as hell.
That would be
That
pretty
would be
sick.
that would be a fun movie. Yeah. So HK, you said for you would actually like to see him with Jet Li in a buddy cop type movie, right? Has Jet Li been in any buddy cop type movies, or has he just been strictly like the?
Not that I know of. It's all like serious type action movies with him. I don't know that I've seen any like comedic roles with Jet Li. I guess Jackie Chan just kind of takes that whole arena away as like the funny martial artist.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that is a great idea. It would be. I think he could be a good orc or something like that. Jason Statham. Like, if you put him in some makeup and let him do his thing.
What about him in a weed movie via Seth Rogen?
No.
jeez.
No.
I would actually, I wouldn't hate that because I feel like
Pineapple
he would,
Express too.
That would be kind of interesting because
because
you
I,
never see him acting goofy. He's
and
always
I
such
feel
a
like,
serious
yeah,
guy.
Well, I mean,
he would
'cause
like either cut loose in that type of movie, or we would get a horrible thing.
yeah, the only reason I think that is because of the movie the night before. It had Michael Shannon in it after he did Zod, and Michael Shannon was the drug dealer who kept doing and it turned out he was like at the end of the movie.
President.
Now that I think about it, there's this movie that came out a while back in Spy on Netflix. I think it was with Melissa
Melissa McCarthy.
McCarthy.
He
Yeah,
he
and
he got to do a little bit of comedy in that, but
yeah, it was a comedic movie, but he still played himself like the same characters.
yeah.
Badass spy guy.
But I don't know because I think that type of movie from a Pineapple Express, they're two different types of comedy. So I would like to see him in something
Yeah.
like a Pineapple Express or This Is the End type vibe movie. That would be fun to see him in. I actually think I would like that.
Yeah, like what if he was Danny McBride's character or James Franco's character in Pineapple Express?
That would be intense.
Yeah, I kind of want to see him high or drunk right now.
Okay, movie pitch idea for Seth Rogen and crew. Go back to This Is the End and like do a bunch of different shorts straight for Amazon Prime of like celebrities what they were doing during this time. Because we only got the small snidbit. So show me Jason Statham in the apocalypse. Jason Statham being himself. He's a tough guy on screen, but then he like comes out and he's like all soft and scared of the demons. Like his voice lowers like a bunch of octaves. I would watch the shit out of that.
Oh, we can make those shorts.
Yeah.
We should. But for me, actually, one genre I don't think anyone has seen him in. He may have been in a few, but I don't think I can recall. I would like to actually see him in a horror movie. And I don't know if I would want to see
Ooh.
him as the main protagonist or maybe as the
I think he's got to be an antagonist in a
yeah.
horror movie.
Well, there was this one great werewolf movie from I think the early 2000s, Dog Soldiers. He was supposed to be the main guy in that movie, and just I love the movie with the cast it had, but if he had actually been the main guy for that, I think that movie would have taken off like so much quicker.
Yeah.
Well, just to get a finger on the pulse, since we just said a plot that or a different movie genre you want to see him in, do we feel that he's the modern day Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Ooh,
Esque.
I would say if somebody
Or
had to say who is the modern day Jean-Claude, I would say him. Yeah, he would be who I would pick. Would you pick somebody else?
well, I was gonna say he could be modern day Jean-Claude or Steven Seagal.
Well,
No, he's
let's not
Definitely
ruin
not
his name.
Seagal.
Yeah.
Don't drag his name through the mud already worse than it already is.
Right.
Jack Black is the modern day Steven Seagal.
At least he's got humor about it.
Yeah.
So if you could see him do a movie with anybody in particular, who would it be?
Oh, I got mine.
Okay, Beekeeper, go ahead, tell us.
I want him with the Beekeeper with Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Oh, what type of movie? Rate us the movie.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to go the typical trope of like he's a badass who kills people and to right some wrongs. I don't know. I just want Nicolas Cage and Jason Statham, like a dark comedy akin to like Vampire's Kiss, but like that sense of humor. Oh, Jason Statham kidnaps Nicolas Cage's daughter, sort of like he does on speaking of bees,
Wicker
shoot,
Man.
Wicker Man, yeah. The Wicker Man 2, The Wickening.
Oh. Also cameo by John Wick.
Nick Cage died in that, so make it the afterlife.
Oh, goodness.
And so like, and Jason Statham is the like deity who blesses that island with honey. You gave him honey for my life.
Oh boy. Well, I would watch that movie. But for me, I would sticking with the horror genre. I would want to see him in a not really a buddy cop type movie, but like an action thriller where there's two soldiers that are having to make their way through like maybe some kind of factory or something where there's zombie outbreaks or there's a monster. But it's just him and this other soldier that he's working with, or ex-marine or whatever, Keanu Reeves, and they have to try to clear out the building or save people or do something. But it's in the horror genre, so they're fighting some scary creepy crawlies. Damn, you know what? I really want to see that movie now that I just
Damn,
said
yeah,
that out loud.
I would see that too.
Yeah.
What for that? The title for that. End of his wick, The Wickening.
No, no Nick Cage in this. No Nick Cage in this. Oh my God, no. Nick Cage can be in this. He can be a vampire.
He's already done
Renfield.
it multiple
He's
times
gonna be
now.
Renfield.
He could be Renfield, yeah.
I was thinking just now that seeing on Badger's wall that one poster in the top left corner of his screen, I'm thinking like a Dune type thing. You know, I think he would be great in sci-fi. Like in Dune 1, they had freaking Jason Momoa and Josh Brolin, and like, you know, so if they can have that, if the sci-fi movies can have action stars like that, I think Statham would do really well in something like that too.
But
So I would want to see him like opposite like a Josh Brolin, I think,
and him
Yeah.
kick
in like a badass like sci-fi type movie.
For me, I would want to see him buddy up with Ryan Reynolds in a buddy cop, but Ryan Reynolds is the hard ass, and Statham is the goofy smart ass
Oh,
through the whole movie.
really subvert the expectations.
Yeah,
yeah, that would be awesome.
like, and they're going through this, and you know, at the somewhere in the middle of this movie, they cut off Jack Black's head. Kind of like in the
Why?
Jackal where they shoot his arm off. Bruce Willis shoots his arm off. So this somehow Jack Black's the bad guy, and he gets
Oh,
Interesting.
I could see
you
that.
just gave me an idea for another person I want to see him in a movie with. Has he been in the movie with Bruce Willis?
The
well,
expense.
I was just
never
thinking
gonna
that
happen,
too.
but I would love to see it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, I would want to see a movie where it's not like they're just kind of together in the movie, but I mean like actually like head to head in the movie where they're maybe
Expendable.
two factions. No, I mean not like
Oh,
Statham
but I
is
think
leader of
maybe-
one faction, Bruce Willis is leader of another faction, and their factions are like fighting. I would like to see that, like them go head to head.
Yeah,
that'd be
nice.
cool.
but I think they were in that Expendables together, weren't they?
I think you're
Oh, they
right.
were, but I think they were.
Oh, they were
same
definitely
team
on the
this
same
time.
team.
It almost doesn't
Yeah.
count. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Expendables just has like, you know, like 5-minute cameos.
Speaking of cameos and that genre, who would you cast him for in the DC or the MCU?
In the DC universe, who would I cast Jason Statham as? I'll do you two. I'll cast him as a hero and as a villain. I almost want to I almost want to say I want to see a Jason Statham Zod, but Michael Shannon already happened, so I'm like no, because I don't think he fit in that role very well, and second, Michael Shannon kicked that out the park. So, but for a villain, I think he'd be an interesting Penguin, but also I would like to see him as a Two-Face somewhere.
Okay.
Penguin, interesting.
Yeah, because I honestly, when the Batman came out and they were like, "What the hell are they getting Colin Farrell for this?" And then I saw his prosthetics and I was like, "Oh, okay, you know what? This might actually be believable." And here we are with the series about to come out, starring just him.
Okay.
But for if in the DC, because I got him as a bad guy in Batman Rogues Gallery as either Penguin or Two-Face. If he was going to be a good dude, you know what? Might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it. I think I could see Jason Statham trying to be a Green Lantern, John Stewart. Yeah,
Alan Scott.
or an Alan Scott maybe, but I think he could pull off the John Stewart if they wanted to swap some things.
What about Marvel? Is hard for me to pick up on, so I'm gonna have to think a little bit harder on Marvel. But I think there's a good amount of people he could play in the DC. And at first I thought this way, and then I thought no, since you mentioned Batman. So I'm going to say 4: Reverse Flash / Zoom, the Black Racer, um, Doctor Hugo Strange, but lastly, Ra's al Ghul.
Okay, yeah.
Now let me think about Marvel. Y'all go.
I think he would make a great Slade to go against
You
the Teen
know,
Titans. I mean, that's just like
man,
perfect, right? Come on.
he would so
I had him down too.
that
He would
actually
wreck.
damn it.
Yeah.
James Gunn, if you're listening, that actually I think that needs to happen. I don't just give us,
Absolutely.
like 20K each for every time
Yeah.
they say, I'm Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a good damn. That beats my choices right there, I think.
And you
Flashman,
just
did
put
you
him in
have
the mask. You don't never even have to see his face. He's just a badass.
Yeah.
So I was on the Deathstroke campaign for that one, but I might have one even better. I think he could play Vandal Savage live action. He's got the physicality. He's got the charisma for it. What do you think?
I think it could work. Vandal Savage is a big buff guy, so he would just
Mhm.
be that weight behind him though.
I don't think it will work. I mean, Vandal Savage, yes, but I don't think it will work if they cast him as a dark side. But I would love to see that.
That would
That
be
would-
entertaining.
I think that would be kind of funny. So, did anyone want to go first for who he would be in the MCU?
I have to look it up. Give me a second.
I don't know Marvel, but a side fan cast for a different series. Since we know they're coming out with Mortal Kombat 2 with Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, what if he was Shao Kahn?
Or if he was actually cast as Kano in the first reboot movie that came out?
Oh
I
yeah,
could see that too. But also, I would think that Kano would have to be a much bigger player because you can't get somebody like Jason Statham for just a Kano for that kind of movie.
God, the MCU one's going to be hard.
yeah.
That's what she said.
Because you can't think of a character that's already been played, but like maybe a Galactus, but they've already cast Galactus.
I just keep thinking of all the movies he's been typecast in, and I'm trying to put that into a character, and
Yeah.
it's kind of
See,
hard to do.
I'm trying to think outside the box, not just that type character. And that's what's getting me.
Because I think he could be like a Hawkeye type.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Slade Wilson sort of went up that alley as well.
Wait, let's jump back to DC real quick because I just thought of something too. He could definitely be a great Floyd Lawton Deadshot. Because I was trying to think of somebody that was like an assassin type in Marvel, and I was like, oh wait, no, never mind. We got one over there in DC. But I guess going for MCU, if we had to pick, be like, hey, you're in charge of important stuff, and we have Jason Statham over here. Where are you going to put him in Marvel or in the MCU? I'd be like, well, that's a good question.
You know what? One of the thoughts that came to mind was Nick Fury, but we already have like such a good Nick Fury that
We
it's
do.
like kind of hard to see him. I mean, he could do it, I think, but
like if they did a soft reboot, like he'd be the new Nick Fury.
or like a different universe Nick Fury.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm putting together a team.
Yeah.
For like
I can see that.
where everybody's got like all the Avengers are based in Australia, like Iron Man's now Tinny Man or something like that.
But no, for what did you just say, Timmy man? What? God, wow.
Instead of the Hulk, it's the Incredible Roo.
That took a minute to process in my head, and then all of a sudden I was like, what the hell? But
Yeah.
anywho, MCU, since soon there's going to be some big players coming to the MCU, and Hugh Jackman can't be doing this till he's 90 for real. So maybe what if Jason Statham was the new Wolverine?
We got Cavalry for that. I'm gonna fight you on that one.
We're gonna bring Calvary back to DC because he needs to be something back in DC. Please.
We can have
please.
the Deadpool core. Why can't we get Statham as a version of Wolverine?
Yeah.
What about
He could fight Cavalry.
I think he could be a good Magneto.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's who I would put for him in the.
You want to be
Marvel
hilarious
universe.
is if they made him Xavier just because he's bald.
Just because he's bald?
Yeah.
That's rude.
But he wouldn't be able to like use his physicality at all.
But I could totally see that too. I can see him just rolling up in his wheelchair with his mean ass mug.
Yeah. That'd be the hardest Xavier.
Yeah.
Be like, Be like, you didn't have to say so many damn bad words in my head, Charles. Jeez.
Yeah, just cussing everyone out.
Yeah.
Like no warning, he just like turns off their brains.
I'm thinking he'd make a decent Crossbones. What do
Oh
y'all
yeah,
think?
definitely.
So
I mean,
Yeah. My first thought was like as an agent of Shield, but like as Crossbones, yeah, he would definitely fit.
yeah.
Ooh, or even maybe if he had his own type character in, excuse me, geez, like Agents of Shield. I hear what you're saying, HK. Like what if he was an agent of Shield, but he was like a super agent of Shield that we didn't know about? Like they
Mhm.
created a character for him.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because I was almost gonna say like a Taskmaster, but for the Agents of Shield before they went
Taskmaster,
to
he could be a
Hydra.
Taskmaster too. That would be
Yeah,
a good
and
fit.
I would like to actually, you know what? Yes, I would like to see him as a Taskmaster and him fighting Steve Rogers. Like, I'm sorry, Chris Evans. I just called him Steve because I was like, that's Captain America, man.
so
Like
can I,
seeing them two fight, I think that would be a great fight too.
can I sidebar for this? Thanks to Chat GPT, not sponsored by Chat GPT. I asked it to give me Australian
Yeah.
nicknames for the Avengers. Would we care to hear the Australian nicknames for 10 Avengers?
Shoot.
Yes.
Mad at your mama or at Nanny?
Ned for Iron Man,
What?
Iron Ned, or Iron Bloke, whichever you prefer.
I am bloke.
Captain Style or Captain Oz, Thorbo, Dinky Window, a Dinky Widow, Big Green Roo, Hawkeye Ozzy. I like this one. For Black Panther, they called him Bush Panther.
Man, this just sound like Teletubby names.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch is Scarlet Sheila, and there's Aussie Vision and Anti-Mate for Ant-Man.
Anti-Mite.
Yeah.
That's
Or
almost like you're trying to say anti-monitor. Oh wait, that's DC though.
I was also thinking, I don't know why I'm just like thinking of like sort of bald looking characters, but I was thinking
wonder
like
why.
yeah, at Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery, I think he could be Shocker or Chameleon.
I was thinking that too, but they're such like B, C characters. I'm like, he deserves better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Michael Keaton was Vulture, and I mean, he's not an
that's
A-list,
true.
he's not a C character, but he
He
definitely made
elevated
people.
Vulture.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah,
And Michael Keaton loves playing bird characters or
that's
characters
true.
with wings for some reason. Birdman, Batman, Vulture.
He should be Owlman next.
He could be. He could be an older Owlman if they made the Watchmen like series. Oh
Or
crap! If that was still going.
or
But
Christ
go ahead.
the Earths.
Yeah.
Also, a funny casting in the MCU that I would love to see Jason Statham as would be J. Jonah Jameson. He'd be angry and see him with that mustache. Get me pictures of that Spider-Man.
Where does Jason Statham fall in your I'm gonna watch everything he comes out kind of favorite actors list over the last 20, 30 years? Where's he
Not-
fall?
You know what's really scary? He has been doing this for almost 30 years. That
Mhm.
that we're getting old. For me,
Dude,
I
he's
would put him.
57.
Yeah.
That's just
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah. For me, he's definitely in my top 10, I would say, for action stars, not all time actors, but yeah, I would put him in top 10. In all time, like I want to see every one of his movies. He's a top 20 candidate because I do enjoy damn near everything I see him in. Even the Meg 2, which I'm not gonna say was a bad movie. It wasn't my cup of tea. I still enjoy that movie. And I
It's
think
my-
he elevated that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure movie.
Oh, yeah. Let's HK, do you have a guilty pleasure movie that Jason Statham was in? Maybe not many people liked, maybe wasn't critically acclaimed, but you're just like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna watch this movie again.
Maybe the second Crank, because that one wasn't as highly reviewed. But it was still like a blast. It was still a lot of fun.
And I can vouch for you on that because we did see that in theaters, and when we came out of it, you're like, man, this is the greatest movie I've seen for a while because you were just high in that movie, like not literally, but like you got a high from you got a high
Don't
from that
incriminate
movie.
him.
You remember how much of a Statham fan I was when I dragged you to see Death Race, and I was like hyped for it, and then after I left, I was like, it was all right, you know.
But yeah, I did like it because of shit. Was I think Rona Mitra was in that movie too? The chick that was in that movie, but whoever was in that movie, I liked it. I liked that movie.
Yeah,
But
it's a good one.
but my guilty pleasure movie, Flashman NHK might remember this. I'm not sure about the Beekeeper because he's not a Statham stan like we are. He wasn't the actual technically the main character for this movie, but it was another movie that he did with Jet Li, The One. Man, I could watch that movie 6, 7, 8 times a week.
Dude, I forgot he was in the one.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. He was that
Yeah.
cop that was chasing all of the Jet Li, or the Jet Li that was going to all the universes trying to kill his counterparts.
Damn.
And the ending for that movie too, it was just it's so cold because the bad Jet Li died, went to hell, and he's like, "You all are trapped here with me," and he's just kicking everybody's ass as they're backing out playing, I think, Papa Roach.
Papa Roach, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, this makes me want to go fight myself in the multiverse and become the one. But yeah, that
Yes.
movie for me, just so cool. I
He
mean,
had
it
hair
made,
in that one, right?
he had a little bit of hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he wasn't the main draw for that movie. It was a Jet Li movie, but he was in it. But I think you put anybody else in that movie, I probably wouldn't have remembered it as much. But because Statham was there, that movie hit me with the Statham and Jet Li being together. That combo really works for me.
You just saying Jason Statham and Hell makes me think he would be a good Constantine too.
I thought that as well.
That'd be interesting.
But I still think I'd rather have Keanu Reeves back as Constantine
Same.
if I had to choose. I mean, I'm just gonna say it.
He killed it as Constantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Jason Statham had like copies? What if he was doing the same thing Jet Li did and trying to become his version of the one, and they like their versions of the one fought each other? That'd be awesome. I want to see a 1-2 now. The 1-2.
The 1-2.
They call it 1-2.
Or oh, you couldn't call that one squared, could you? No.
Yeah, 1 square.
Just call it 2.
The 2.
No, not
The
even 2.
2.
Just say 2.
Just 2.
Yeah, I see your movie where it's the sequel and his character is fighting Jet Li's one that lasted. But also, if we just flip the roles in that movie where Jason Statham was the one and Jet Li was sent back to try to stop the Jason Stathams that were coming, or the Jason Statham that was coming for all the people, that would be an interesting way to show us all the different little cameos of stuff, or like different personalities he could be, because we did see that with Jet Li. Oh my god. I think there was a dreadlock version of Jet Li in the 1-2 that I was like, oh man, he's about to die hard.
Yeah, we
But
had a
yeah.
nice Jet Li too. Nicely.
Ah,
That hurt.
oh,
That hurt so bad.
oh.
One thing I think is funny about like the Hobbs and Shaw stuff is like it was contractually obligated that neither one of them could lose a fight. And we're like,
Yep.
if I get like 3 punches on you, you get 3 punches on me. You can tell by the camera angles. Both of them made like this camera angle made Jason Statham look big. This camera angle made The Rock look big. Or Vin Diesel, that you couldn't make the other one look small in comparison, which I thought was funny.
That movie was bad all around. So
Which one
Oh,
were
no.
you referring to?
you know how I feel about the Fast Saga.
He was just gonna say all of them.
Anything after the third one was puke.
What
That's a
about
whole different topic.
Tokyo Drift?
Do what?
A third one, you don't mean Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, I love Tokyo Drift. I despised Fast and Furious or whatever the hell the one was after it. After Tokyo Drift, like I was done.
Yeah, I guess how about this wrap up? We just go quick round around the table and be like, hey, beer with Momoa? I mean, not Momoa. Beer with Statham, yes or no? And then that's our outro there.
What kind of beer would you drink with them?
Stella Artois.
Well, I was going to say that sort of question.
Classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Speed round. Would you have a beer with Sir Jason Statham, and what kind of beer would you be drinking? Bet Drew.
Oh, hell yeah. And you know what? We're drinking Stella Artois.
I would absolutely grab a beer with Jason Statham. And just to respect, I think it would be like a Guinness.
Absolutely, but I'm drinking sake just to go with the martial arts theme.
Sure, I always want a good drinking buddy, but as far as the beer goes, I got to go with a Blue Moon. Draft Blue Moon.
Ah, Blue Moon. Blue.
Gotta have the orange slice then.
Gotta have the orange slice. And hey, guys out there, would you have a beer with Jason Statham? Please like, comment, and subscribe. What's your favorite movies with him? What do you think of him as an actor? Until next time, I'm the beekeeper.
No, I'm the beekeeper.
Was a beekeeper.
Who are these damn beekeepers?
Until next time, guys. Cheers.